Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's by user Same Trainer. Boyfriends 21 male, best friend 20 female, hates me 25 female, and wants us to break up. I seriously can't do this anymore. This is half like a vent and half a cry for help. I feel like I'm going effing insane, but I don't know what to do. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 1 year. We live together. Things are going really well. This is kinda his first real serious relationship, so we had some issues at first, but we communicate a lot and he's a great guy. Definitely the best relationship I've been in so far, outside of one thing, and that's his best friend. I don't want to be controlling. He can have female friends. It's absolutely no problem. He had issues with a jealous and manipulative girlfriend. Didn't last long, hence why I said first serious relationship. So I don't want to be that girlfriend, if that makes sense. I met his girlfriend after a month, if I remember correctly. When we first met, she was very sweet, kind, and incredibly bubbly. As soon as my boyfriend left the room, she looked at me like I crapped in her cereal. She started barraging me with questions, who I was, why I got with my boyfriend, and a bunch of other stuff. It was like an interrogation and she kept cutting me off. When my boyfriend got back, she went back to the girl I met. I was so shocked, I didn't believe what had just happened. Every single time we've been alone together since, she has been a total bitch to me. She's never obvious about it in front of my boyfriend. It's never enough to call her out. When she's with my boyfriend, she hovers around him, touches him, or tries to be as close as possible. My boyfriend, thank God, tells me everything. Until a few months ago, they regularly gave each other massages. He stopped it immediately when he saw my reaction. Friend keeps bringing it up amongst other stuff like, remember when we used to XXX? She has no boundaries. She will cuddle up to him and I can't get mad because I'll look like a bitch myself. Today she came over for dinner and she crossed yet another line and I'm done with it. Boyfriend was prepping dinner and she came up to him and hugged him from behind and kissed his neck and cheek. She was wearing a super low-cut top and her tit accidentally fell out of her shirt. Later, she showed her new swimming gear to us. What? And I could have killed her right there. I've told my boyfriend about my concerns and he understands and listens, but he has known this girl literally since birth. I don't want to ask him to cut her off completely. He always asks if it's okay first to hang out or do something with her, but I almost need to throw up when I think what she's like when they're one-on-one. I'm so lost, I'm afraid. It's clear that she's into him. Why in God's name did she never tell him this? And she's told me it's only a matter of time until he dumps me. It doesn't help that she's way prettier, younger, and more adventurous as I am. It would be an upgrade for him, but he has never seen her act out to me because she is very careful about it. I thought about approaching her directly, but I don't see it going well. Sorry for my English. Any suggestions are welcome. Well, OP, I gotta say, your boyfriend sucks. I'm sure he knows that this is uncomfortable for you. You've already told him plenty of times, right? And knowing her since birth is not an excuse to let her behave like that to him. He should be drawing clear boundaries, like, hey, you need to respect my girlfriend. We're friends, we've been friends for a long time, and we may continue to be friends, but not if you keep disrespecting my girlfriend like this. Keep your hands to yourself. That's where you have the issue. This other girl? Sure, she sucks as well. But your boyfriend is the one that should be putting a stop to this if you've already told them it bugs you. And honestly, OP, if he doesn't do it, if he likes her attention, then you may be just wasting your time with him and time to move on. Because you don't need to ask him to stop being his friend or whatnot, but drawing boundaries is a certainty that you should have. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Reddit Methods 101 says, why haven't you said anything to this poor guy? The two most important women in his life are lying to him by deed or omission. You guys are going to give him a accomplice when he finally sees what's going on right under his nose. Film it, and then have a sit down with him and explain what's been happening. If he resists, present your proof and explain how you've been trying to not put him in a sucky position, but that you can't continue like things are now. And Opie responds, I've told them, though she's never done it directly in front of him, but I'm also afraid that if it blows up, she might confess her love for him, and he will have to choose. I honestly don't think he knows. Deleted says a few things. First off, maybe his jealous, manipulative ex-girlfriend was sick and tired of putting up with your boyfriend's best friend's BS. I highly doubt you're the only woman in boyfriend's life that his best friend has tried to sabotage. Second, F the concept of controlling. You and your boyfriend need boundaries for this best friend. How would your boyfriend feel if you have a male best friend that just happened to have his penis fall out of his short while he was hugging and kissing you? I'm pretty sure your boyfriend would be pissed. Third, definitely set up a recorder to pick up her Dr. Jekyll Mrs. Hyde routine. Your boyfriend needs to be aware of how she is acting when he is not around. Frankly, if I found my best friend since birth was actively being a twat and trying to sabotage my relationships, I would kick him or her to the curb. That's not a friend, that's an adversary. I guess in the end, you need to really have a serious talk with your boyfriend about her. If he can't see it, then he needs to be aware. If he does see it, he needs to set up boundaries with her. If he can't, well, he's being disrespectful to you and the relationship. There is no reason for you to be abused to be in this relationship, and it's his responsibility to make sure his friends treat you with respect. Metastasis D says, have you tried hitting her? Like, as soon as she goes Mrs. Hyde on you, just haul off and slug her. Then you both pretend everything is fine when he gets back in the room. Kingslayer Pegasus says, why don't you show him this post? Or just tell him and lay out boundaries and stop being so soft. Just because your boyfriend had an issue with his past relationship doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. If you would have spoken up the first time, all of this could have been prevented. So my advice to you is to stop whining and get mad and tell your boyfriend the issues that you are having and lay out some ground rules. Obviously, he is very into you if he is ignoring the advances of someone that is apparently better than you. I believe that statement is most likely wrong, but you said it more to hurt yourself, so don't believe it, OP. And Cats and Bears says, I had this exact same situation when I first started dating my husband. We met his friend in a pub, and when he went to the loo, it was like a switch had been flipped. I talked to him about it, listed all the times I'd seen it happen, but I also knew he was absolutely clueless, as a lot of guys are, so I gave him examples and stuff she hadn't done yet and told him that this would probably start happening soon. This really surprised him when I predicted right. I also told him how much I cared about him, and if he wanted this relationship to last, then he and only he would have to make it known that her behavior was not acceptable at all. Not just around me, but there were things she would never do again. It turned out long ago that they had slept together. Him as a friends with benefits thing, but she obviously had feelings she couldn't let go. He told her it was never going to happen again and that I was his girlfriend for the foreseeable future. Therefore, she would have to pack it up or just clear off and not hang around with him again. She just flipped out. We haven't seen her since then and have been together 14 years, married and have a baby on the way. Your boyfriend needs to be the one calling her out, but give him a nudge in the right direction. Alright, well, the community says you gotta talk to your boyfriend about it and you gotta stop being a doormat. So let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. So it's been 2 weeks since I posted. I talked to my boyfriend the day after and basically said what everyone else already commented and what I was thinking. No, I didn't secretly record her because that didn't sit right with me. I told him her behavior was making me super uncomfortable and that he needed to set boundaries with her as soon as possible or I wasn't going to put up with it anymore. I was effing pissed while telling him this and he got the message. He texted her in front of me and even let me read it. I was satisfied and very relieved. Felt like I could finally breathe. Best friend came over a few times and was very nice to me. She wasn't being inappropriate even once. Very respectful of the boundaries we had set. When we were alone, she was the same girl as when we were all together. Total 180. Great! I was so glad and happy. Thought she got the hint. Skip to yesterday. Boyfriend is in the shower and left his phone in his pants on the floor. Phone keeps vibrating and I'm getting annoyed. I grab his phone. All the messages are from best friends. There are pics of them effing, a video I didn't watch, and a lot of lovey-dovey messages. I scrolled back and it went back to at least 2 months ago until I had enough and had an emotional breakdown. Serious plans together. Honestly, I never even came up in their conversations. He came back from the gym last night. We were going to have sex after he got out of the shower, and he had been effing here minutes before he came home. I'm staying with a friend for a while, had to take work off today because I'm a total wreck. Honestly, I'm still in shock. I seriously can't comprehend what's going on. Haven't responded to any of boyfriend's messages, but he knows I know. He hasn't said anything after he realized it, I think. Well, this confirmed for me that I'm not as desirable as I thought. Funny how I genuinely believed he chose for me. I can't even start to explain how crap I feel. Started drinking, but luckily I have my friend here who is taking care of me. Bless her. Honestly, don't think I'll get into another relationship for a long time. Third time this has happened to me. It isn't a coincidence anymore. Cheers. Well, OP, they absolutely both suck and deserve each other. I would start calling him ex, not boyfriend anymore. And just block him. Block his email, his number, everything. And if you guys lived together, try to get out of the lease and move your things away and tell him not to talk to you anymore. And lastly, OP, don't give up. At least don't give up on yourself. And on that note, here's wishing you the best, OP. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Bella Bella. Am I the a-hole for skipping my friend's daughter's first birthday and charging her for the gift after she forgot to tell me the time changed? I'm feeling pretty heated right now and need some perspective. My friend's daughter is turning 1 today. A few weeks ago, my friend asked if I could make truffles for the party. I agreed, and she mentioned she would reimburse me for the ingredients. However, because truffles are expensive to make and incredibly labor-intensive, I decided I would just gift them as the birthday present instead of asking for money. I spent all day yesterday making these. I had to wake up super early this morning to finish the final touches and get ready for the 9 a.m. start time listed on the invitation. I showed up at 9 a.m. sharp, truffles in hand, and the place was empty. I double-checked the invite and it definitely said 9 a.m. I called my friend and she casually told me that the time had been changed to the afternoon. She admitted she forgot to tell me, and apparently I was the only guest who wasn't notified. After working so hard yesterday and sacrificing my Saturday morning sleep, I was and am pissed. I haven't told her if I can make it in the afternoon yet. Would I be the a-hole if I charge her the full amount for the ingredients and my time, since I might no longer be attending and these were meant to be the gift? Or refuse to go to the afternoon session because I've already wasted my morning and now I have other plans, which is mostly just being too annoyed to celebrate? Well, OP, I don't know if I would call you an a-hole, but I would definitely call you petty. I mean, you hadn't told your friend that these were going to be your gift for her daughter or something, so taking them back wouldn't make you an a-hole because you never made that promise. But now not showing up 3 hours after out of spite because you're pissed, yeah, that's petty, I would think. I don't know if your friend did it on purpose. I wouldn't think so. I mean, she wanted you there, she asked you for the truffles, and she was going to pay you back. She didn't know you wanted to gift them. I think it did slip her mind and she forgot. The only question I would have here is, did she apologize or did she just brush you off and say, you know what, see you at 12? Because then that would make her an a-hole. You apologize for this. And now you get to choose, OP. Do you want to go or not? And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. And now let's check out the community comments. Oddworth7752 says, this is your chance to be the bigger person, honestly. It's not like you showed up at 4 and were told the party was from 2 to 3 or changed to the day before. Give her the damn truffles, go to the party even if it's only for 15 minutes, and don't be spiteful, and don't send her a bill. That's a real a-hole move. If you want to end the friendship over this, ghost her after, fine. Don't be mean on her baby's first birthday. Are you a parent? If you are, you know damn well that the first year is tough. Fian Orr says, question, was your friend at all apologetic? I'd have been mortified and would have apologized profusely. Anything less than that would make my goodwill evaporate and put the friendship on very, very thin ice from my perspective. Cranky wife says, you would not be the a-hole. I'd say, shucks, I can't make it to the changed time. Just Venmo the money for the truffles and you can swing by and pick them up before noon. If you want to be generous, you can offer to drop them off after she pays. And I recommend Fire says, I totally understand being irritated, but everyone makes mistakes sometimes, and she's probably harried from a year of crappy sleep plus planning the party. If she's a close friend, it doesn't seem worth nuking the friendship over unless you have other complaints and resentment has been building up. If you absolutely feel the need to get back at your friend for the oversight, drop the truffles off at the party and then have whatever conversation or fight you want to have on a different day. You're the a-hole if you start a fight with her over it on her baby's first birthday. The day isn't about you. Opie's edit. I did not tell her I would gift her the truffles. I had just decided that myself. A lot of people are asking for more context, so here it goes. We moved to a new city last year, so I've been trying hard to make new friends, and I've been hanging out with this friend and some of her friends, but I am not in their little group yet. I'm a very helpful person in general and have a lot of party planning experience, so I actually helped her decide many aspects of the party, like how much food, what types of food, how many drinks, etc. We were exchanging info back and forth about this party constantly, and I even lent her a bunch of my own decoration stuff to use for the cake table. Also, she specifically chose 9 a.m. because that's when her daughter is most alert and happiest. So this was supposed to be a brunch-type birthday party. Given how much we talked about the details and the fact that she has my decorations, I really don't feel like this was an easy thing to forget. Alright, well the community is mixed between you would be spiteful, you'd be the a-hole, you would not be the a-hole, and Opie tries to clarify a little bit more with the edit. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Wow, I did not expect this to blow up. First of all, I don't think it's fair for some people to say I'm self-obsessed or that it's clear why I'm not included in the group. Clearly, those people have never been in a position where they had to move cities and make new friends after a certain age. It is not easy. I wrote that first post while I was literally leaving the empty venue and heading home, so everything was fresh and I just needed to process externally and see what others would do. I think that's pretty normal when you're frustrated. After taking a nap and reading through the comments, I decided to be an adult about it. I went to the birthday party in the afternoon, brought the truffles, and told her they were a gift. I do think she just had a mom brain moment and genuinely forgot to tell me, but because I'm new here and have been struggling with feeling excluded, it hit me harder in the moment. Thank you everyone for your answers and for helping me see things more clearly. I'm not going to hold this over her head, but I'm going to keep it in mind. If it happens again or becomes a pattern, I'll know this isn't the right friendship for me. Opie, I think that is the right decision to make, and you're also taking the learning for the future just in case. I hope you had fun at the party. Take care, Opie, and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user AdorableCalendar19. My roommate kept snoring and refused to address it, so I recorded her and played it whenever she tried to rest. I work and live on a cruise ship. Depending on the route, we dock every 2 to 4 days, have one roommate, and we have bunk beds, with me on top. I'm a performer, so we get to pick our roommates, and my roommate never told me that she snored very loudly too. I tried earplugs. Nope. I have big over-the-ear headphones and was playing music. Still can hear her. I can even hear her over the ship docking, and our room is near the anchor. It's loud. Her snoring is not only loud, it's concerning because she chokes in her sleep too. The first time I heard it, I almost fell out of my bunk to rush down to check on her, thinking she was having some kind of medical emergency. I talked to her to see if she would come up with a solution, and she basically shot me down because she thought since she was sleeping fine, it wasn't a big deal. Also, it's really hard to change roommates unless something major happens, and snoring isn't considered one of those, despite me voicing my lack of sleep. I did my best to live with it, but I was fed up when I got done with a long work day. Got up at 9 a.m. and didn't get official done with work until 11 p.m. and had to be up at 6 a.m. and the snoring only allowed me 2 hours of sleep. So I decided to record her. The next day, when I was going to the room for a break, she was there and said she was gonna take a nap. I was like, okay, and as she lied down, I started playing her snoring. She immediately shut up and looked at me like I was insane. When all I did was stare at her, she asked me to turn it off. I said, well, this is you snoring, and you said it's not a big deal, so why should I? She gets really mad, says a few choice words, and leaves the room. For about 3 days, whenever she tried to rest, I played her own snoring back. Finally, I got called in a meeting with our manager because roommate was mad at me. I explained my side of the story, because roommate failed to mention that she refused to address her snoring and made it seem like I was just playing loud noises for the heck of it. Roommate is angry that the manager didn't fully take her side and even told her she was being difficult by not trying to address her snoring and brushing off my need for sleep. We ended up getting moved with new roommates though. Well, OP, I love the teaching a lesson with a big side of petty on it. Thanks so much for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.